Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you from wherever you're watching me from and at whatever time you're watching me at. Thank you for opening this video. I'm sure by the end of it all, you will have learned something. And this moment, I want to talk to you about something powerful, something important, something crucial in our lives, and that is the power of who I am. The power of who I am as an individual, the power of who I am created as, the power of who I am generally as a person, not the physical part only that you see, not only my thoughts, not only my psychological self, but a combination of all that brings out who I am as an individual. We're going to talk about the mental aspect. We're going to talk about the physical aspect. We are going to talk about the psychological aspect, and we are also going to talk about the spiritual aspect, because we are composed of all that. That is what completes us. It is just like how the body of a person is. You find that if you look at me right now, I have many things that you can spot. You can spot the mouth, you can spot the nose, you can spot the eyes, you can spot uh, uh, the head, you can spot the hands, you can spot the feet, and everything that you can be able to spot from where you are, and that is what makes up my physical being. That is what makes me complete physically. But when we come to talk about the physical, the spiritual, the mental, the psychological, none of that is going to complete that. And that is what I want to emphasize about today. And yes, today we are going to do this video from the countryside. Yeah, you can see the trees, you can hear the birds. Yes, it's good environment. Sometimes it's good to escape the busyness of the town and go somewhere where you can just have your moments. Yeah, so let's start with maybe the one that we are all familiar with, the physical aspect. We're going to find that apart from maybe the people who we are related to, like I don't look like any other person outside there anywhere. Uh, you're going to find that I am just as I am physically, in terms of structure, in terms of how my eyes look, how my nose look, my lips, my ears, and everything that I am physically. You're going to find that it is difficult to spot another person with all those aspects just similar. Like you just walk, you're just walking out there, and you meet with a person who looks exactly like you, who you are going to confuse with another person because of their similarity, without them having any relation, any blood relationship, because that is probably that is the most common thing that makes people look alike. Nakuto na Mbozi. And so that alone tells you that you are unique as a person. The fact that you're not going to just stumble into anyone else anywhere looking exactly like you, having features all like yours, tells you that you are unique. Yes, you are unique. You have what you have, they have what they have, and that one makes you unique and makes them unique. That is the physical aspect only. And so you realize if I am if physically I am unique like that, then how about, okay, why am I unique like that? Why am I unique? Why is it that there is nobody in the world who is like me, who has my features. And also, if we may persist and say, like a person standing where I am standing right now, why is it that there is no other person in the whole world who is looking the way I'm looking and standing where I am standing right now? I think hapa there is a problem with light. So allow me to relocate. I'm not sure whether it is going to destroy my things and so. Oh my god, lighting issues. I'm not so sure whether you can see me, or maybe you can just move to where there is the sun. Whatever IT. Yes, I think here is a bit better. And so what I was saying is that, like, you're not going to go around, go everywhere and find somebody who is like you, having all your features, or even go push it to a point where they look the way you look. Like, that tells you that you are unique. Whatever you are doing, wherever you are doing it, like, it is a unique thing. When I'm using the physical aspect because that is what we can see, that is what is familiar with us, that is what we can all relate with. But it all happens that way, even in all other aspects, the mental part. You might find a person having an idea like yours, thinking the way you are thinking, but they are not you. You might find a person, okay, they are using their own mind. They are using their own thinking abilities to bring out whatever they want to bring for whatever purposes. They are bringing it on the table too, and that tells you another thing, that your mental aspect is unique. Their mental aspects are unique. There is a reason they are thinking the way they are thinking. There is a reason they have their minds. There is a reason that their minds and other people's minds were not all incorporated in your mind and make you just one person instead of having them all. So you find that, like, then that tells you that there is a reason why I was given the mind. They were given their mind, why our minds are unique, why we think differently, and why we are in spaces where we are right now for God's purposes, for God's reasons. That is, if we are in the right place and our way of doing things aligns with what God has for us. Yes, in his mind. Another thing is the spiritual aspect. Okay, let me just finish with that one. Let me start with the psychological. You find that, like, our emotions are totally different. Like, we are attracted to different people differently. Like, you will look at a person being attracted to another person, and you wonder in your mind, what did they see in that person? What did they see in each other that you are not seeing? And that one is already direct. It is something direct that you can tell that our emotion, our psychological aspects, our emotional parts, they are also unique for different reasons, so that we cannot all fall for the same thing, so that we cannot be attracted to the same thing, so that each and everything that we are attracted to, and each and everything they are attracted to, they all work together to fulfill their different purposes wherever, because as I started when I started, like each and every one is created uniquely for their own reasons and for God's purposes in their lives. The last part is the spiritual aspects. A few weeks ago, there is a fellowship that I attend, a cell fellowship to be precise. And the last one we were discussing about the what the spiritual versus the mind. Uh, okay, that's something like the mind versus um, the physical versus the spiritual, and we came to the conclusion that our spirit, every person that you see, they have their spiritual aspects. Uh, like we all agreed that each and every individual, you see, they have a soul, and that is what we are told, like it is like the dwelling place of the spirit. Like when a person dies, the soul goes back to the creator. And another thing is that our bodies, our physical bodies, are the temples of our soul aspect, and our soul aspect is the one that hosts the spirit that we accept into our lives, like the spirit of God, the spirit of the evil one, and and so on and so forth. And so, if you look at our spiritual aspects, you find that they are also different for different reasons. Like, okay, you may find that a person is attracted to a certain preacher so much, but when it comes to me, I'm not even interested. If you bump to me without knowing and ask me their names, you realize that I don't have clue of who they are. I don't have a clue of what they do, and probably even if we meet, there won't be much we will be sharing with them. The reason, because my spiritual aspect is different. I am attracted to certain things spiritually. My soul is attracted to different things, and that one already tells me that I am unique. You are unique. I will go to a place where uh, maybe probably a place where the many people are, uh, probably for spiritual reasons, and you find that for certain reasons, like I just want to leave the meeting. Why? Because I feel there is something different in me that is not being pulled. I'm being magneted, okay, being attracted by whatever environment that one is. Why? Because my spiritual aspect is different. And so find that all we are, what we do, we are different, we are unique, and the reason we are that way is because of our purposes for life, for the reasons that we were born, the very reason we were knit together in our mother's womb, the very reason that we exist in such a time as this, not earlier, not later, now. And when that time is gone, and that time is gone, then you find that there is none of us who live now will be living then. Just like there are no people who lived Kitambo, those 18s who lived in the 18s and in the ages of Kina David, who exist now, because they were created, they were made with all they are, with all their aspect within them, for a specific reason, to exist in a certain time gap, so that they can come to fulfill the purposes for which God wanted them to fulfill on earth. And when when that is done, like their life is done, their life is gone. There is no more. There is no more. Uh, uh, there is no more maybe arguing. There is no more trying to sustain yourself. There is no more anything, because when that time is gone, it's gone and gone forever. Now it is for you now to jump to the next to the next what side of life and see what whatever things that will be there on the other side. And so you find that the I am, the uniquely I am, the reason I am, the purpose for which I am is very special in the life of a person, and because it guides our lives in the path of purpose, it guides our lives in the way that it should go. It guides our lives such that we are not going to be misled, we are not going to be everywhere trying to do everything because we think maybe whoever is doing certain thing is benefiting them, and so we want to follow suit. And niko na mbozi hapa, so like they are trying to do their things that so that our lives will be like I don't know what best word to use, but our lives will be existing to do a certain thing and not every other thing. I don't know whether you get me. Like if I was born to be a purpose advocate, to be a medical researcher, to be to be in the medical field, like I trying to be an electrician, I trying to be a pastor, I trying to be something else, I trying to be a pilot, trying to be a lawyer or something else, like throw me, of course. Why? Because like I am not in my path any longer. I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do any longer. I'm not I'm not existing for the unique reasons that I was made for any longer, because I have left my path now. I am in a different path, trying to do whatever, and because there is no help of God in the path of others, you find that I struggle with myself. I struggle fitting in. I struggle trying to be what I am not. I struggle even maybe trying to change my character, trying to change. Like I try to change my voice. I try to change my some even try to change their physical self to just try and fit in what they are not, but you find that there is no satisfaction in that. The book of Psalms said one time David looked back at what his life had been, looked at how he had been created, and said somewhere that you knit me together in my mother's womb, like in my mother's womb, like you knew every day of me before anyone came to be. Like I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Hear this. Number one, fearfully. What does that mean? Like like we are complex. Like there is nothing that can be done on earth that can be able to create a system of a human being and it be able to run in the way the human body can run, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Yes, we may try. Yes, the artificial intelligence is there, but what is it using? Some compositions of it is a part of human brain. Data being collected from the brain, being fed to a system so that it can at least try to work as a human. Okay, I'm going to use the physical human so much, the physical aspect of us so much, because it is the easiest one we can identify with. Look at when we eat. When God created us, when God created the mouth itself, created it with teeth, gums on this side and the other ones which are not okay. Them. Oh my God! No, the molars and the premolars on this side, and the other one for biting on this side. Uh, Imagine if they had been alternated such that now you have the molars and premolars on this side, and then when you want to chew something, you want to maybe bite the meat or something, you I don't know how, by whatever technique, you push it to the other side. Okay, it's too complicated even to explain. Like it inaweza tokea funny ama if a child is born and you find that as their teeth develop, the molars are developing on the front and the canines and the incisors are developing at the back. The first thing you're going to do, you're going to take them to the dentist or whoever and like try to rearrange, try to identify what is causing that to happen so that they can be brought back to the normal functioning. You know, when you eat, the food goes to the stomach. You have nothing. There is nothing. You yourself don't help the stomach to do its digestion and everything, but production of acid, productions of hormones, production of enzymes, like and in whatever portions, like the body as a system just does it itself with precision, with the perfection, like allowing the nutrients, vitamins and everything that the body need to be absorbed in the body, and the rest is flushed out of the body. Look at the heart. That thing started beating the time it started beating when you are in your mother's womb, and it is still beating, and it will never stop beating until you die, unless it may be stopped medically for whatever reasons, and then it is brought back so that you can continue living. Like you don't control how the heart beats. Mheshimiwa Mbuzi anakuja. Like you do not control how the heart beats. You do not control the blood that flows in the through the heart to the bodies and to the body, and from the body into the heart. Like it is automatic. God created it that way, and like whatever happens in there many times is none of your business. You cannot control. Like look at breathing. Like we need oxygen to keep to be alive, and so you realize that like you okay, once you take in the oxygen, it is it is absorbed into the system. In the other one, the carbon dioxide is brought out, it is breathed out. Like you breathe in the fresh air, you breathe out the carbon dioxide. Have you ever thought if breathing was voluntary? It is something that you could do, something that you do to keep yourself alive. For example, if I want to stop breathing, I stop. If I want to continue breathing, I continue. Have you then think to yourself, that life ikikugonga ila design noma and you feel your punta, is it a must I keep breathing? I stop breathing. When I stop breathing, I die, and that's the end. Like God did not create it that way. He created it in he created it in an so that it could perform involuntarily, so that nothing physical, maybe nothing because that is as a result of external force would kill you, just because you have forgotten to breathe, just because you were not able to breathe, like things like those. And you find that like you are complex. You're complex physically, you are complex spiritually, you are complex mentally, and you are complex even psychologically. All those for a reason, for a purpose. And when that purpose is done, when time is up, then you're going to exit and leave others. So my you find that now that just the way we are unique, the way we have been made unique, we have been made unique for unique purposes. We have been made unique to perform for different reasons. We have been made unique so that uh, uh, so that we can fulfill what the reason for which we were created while we live here. You find that just like we have our physical aspects, it's complex and unique. Our purposes for life are also complex and unique. The Bible says that we have all been given gifts. Like nobody can stand and say that I came to earth and I was given nothing. Like I have nothing. I just came by. I don't have I cannot do anything. I don't have a skill that I don't have a talent that is unique. I don't have a gift that is unique. I don't have anything that is unique within me, and so my work is to just feed. My work is to feed myself. My work is to eat. My work is to just watch as life moves by, and at the end it ends like that. Like there is nowhere indicated there is anybody who was created for nothing so that they can come and exist for nothing, just to be seen and everything, and when time is gone they exit. There is none. We have the talents, we have the gifts, okay, we have the ability, the unique abilities, so that our purposes will be something that won't be a task that will be too hard for us to do. Yeah, so that is why you are going to find a person who can do something perfectly well, and when you yourself try to do the same thing, kinakuramba. That is why you're going to you are going to do something perfectly well, and when somebody tries to copy it, kinamramba. Why? Because they don't have the skills, they don't have the ability, the different abilities. Like the uniqueness in the I am is different from the uniqueness in your I am. And that is why when God says that tumia talanta yako when you are on earth, he doesn't say that wewe ukienda duniani utapata talanta. No, you have it. Like you have the ability within you. David had the abilities, the gifts and talents within him. That is why he got possessed with the harp. That is why he got possessed with leadership. That is why he was anointed king. That is why his life was extraordinary. That is why his life was not like everybody else's in his family, because his gifts, his talents, his abilities were in himself alone. And you find that the likes of Abraham, the likes of Jesus, the likes of the judges, the likes of Solomon, the likes of, and many characters that are talked about in the Bible, and even in the world that we are living, we find that like right now, like you find that there are people best in some things, there are people who live that are best in some things that you can relate in, because of maybe also because of the modernization. You find that the skills, the talents, the gifts, the abilities are keep on changing and keeps on being utilized differently from what happened in the past. And so uh, uh, that does not remove the praise of them in the world. When God created me, for example, he knew there was this problem on earth, and so when he was knitting me in my mother's womb, he put in me those unique things so that I can be specific with those unique things while I live. The other things, so tabia, nini, character, whatever, those ones, physicals, they can be adjusted as time goes by, because some are discipline cases, character cases of what you want to be in terms of how you relate with other people, but they are those unique ones, the ones that solve big problems, the ones that tackle complex issues, the ones that does that does things that not every other thing can do. That is why you're going to find people wezi watoa engineering. That is why you are going to find people wezi watoa medicine. That is why there are people wezi watoa law. That is why kuna watu you cannot pull them out just like that from farming. That is why there are people wezi watoa from the leadership. That is why there are people wezi watoa from the pulpits. That's why there are people wezi like, even if things were to twist, turn, they are still going to hold on to that specific thing. They believe with all that they are, within that they are, and keep pushing. And even if they were going to be destroyed, for example, in this place, and now you find that even if they go to places distant, away from this place today, you find that they are going still to develop themselves in their environment, to be and bring up with the gifts and talents and unique abilities that they have, and plant themselves again, and stand again in a way that, unless they tell you of a past that was destroyed in a certain place, you will never know, you will never hear, you will never realize, you will never assume. Why? Because having a unique gift, having a unique ability, and executing it in your life, I think it is the backbone of living a life of purpose on earth. It is the backbone of living for which you are created for while you are here on earth. Because without that one, every other thing is null. I'll go to work, afford the rent, the food, the clothing, the education, and everything. But deep down, there is that gap that is supposed to be filled with the power, with living a life of purpose that is still going to be empty. That is why you are going to find like people changing professions in a way mpaka unashindwa huyu kwani aliingiwa na wazimu. Why? Because sometimes the longing, when you give attention to what is draining in your within, you find that sometimes it can be different from what is happening in the world. And so if the longing for living for a purpose and for living a purposeful life overcomes the longing to live a life just like that, like living a life for the bills and the shallow things of life, to just let life slide, you find that the person will switch completely to something that you have never seen, you have never heard, you have never imagined, because that is what is giving them true satisfaction. And I'm not sure, I've never seen somebody who is grounded in their purposes for life, that is lacking food, lacking shelter, or begging for them, because their God is their provider. Like God can give you food when you are doing nothing. God can provide. God can also provide for you when you are doing something. God is the one who gives us resources. Yes, we can look back and say that hapana, nilifanya kazi mwezi mzima nikamlipa mwisho wa mwezi, but it is God who enables us to have those resources. If the Bible says that He is the one who opens and closes doors. The Bible says that He is the one who makes the impossible possible. The Bible says that He is the one who is the author and the finisher of life. and he is the one who holds the whole universe. Like the whole universe is in his hands. To say no call to talk add but talking me improving. So like people are able to like go to the space and be able to view Earth uh, from a very distant place, and the information that they're bringing is that the Earth is something tiny. The Earth is something tiny. The, like something is like Earth is something tiny, and we are all suspended in in space, and the Earth goes around. And so whenever I don't know, Miss Kutanya, okay, I don't know, I'm not so much into those things, and so whatever they say, whatever they discover, we swallow and move on. And so like I was saying, there is a reason why I am here today with what I have today, for a specific person, for a specific purpose. And and like that is where my life should revolve around. By saying that God can provide for you whether you go to work or not. Like okay, yes, yes, usipofanya kazi really itakugonga, life itakugonga. Usipofanya something that is going to give you money, utajipata in situations, utajifanya in pieces, and so and other things zenye and other things zenye zitafanya nini, like, and you will be limited from doing most of the things in life. But again, because it doesn't give you, it is not the reason you came here to look for your food and shelter and clothing. Like I urge to you is to just look within yourself and see what other thing did God create within me. What is that reason that made God look to the earth and make me together in my mother's womb, and make me fearfully and wonderfully. Like what is that reason that made God look at me and see that I'm supposed to live here, I'm supposed to exist here, I'm supposed to I am supposed to live in this time gap, and like generally, why am I here? I am unique, yes I know. Like what unique abilities do I possess? Do I know them? Do I execute them? Do I utilize them when I am here on earth? If God were to appear to me now and ask me, what are you doing with what you are now, not tomorrow, not when after I die, like now, what will I say? Will I have the words? Will I just keep quiet and say what God did, and ask God, what did you give me, little? Like it's a food for thought for you to do today, this moment, or whatever moment you're watching me at. uh, Yes, think about yourself, think about your life. You were created in your home with your brothers and sisters and by your parents, but you were not created the same. Each and every person was created uniquely. Why did God then create you uniquely? What purpose did He give you when He began your life here on earth? Because that is why your life should revolve at. That is where your career should be supposed to revolve at. That is what you're supposed to be doing, like in this moment, like because that is because life is more divine than physical. Like there is more to life than just affording food and shelter and clothing and going to church every Sunday. There is more to life than than the physical aspect that you see. And so the challenge I am going to give you today is to look within yourself and see that unique thing that is within you and execute it on the outside, because that is why you are here, that is why you are born. What problems can you solve? What impact can you make? How can you change your environment? You do not have to change the whole world, but those specific ones that are connected to your purposes, like those are the ones that God has called you to. So drop everything, stop taking heavily the things you are not supposed to take heavily, let go things you're supposed to let go, and embrace the purpose for life in your life, the purpose for life by God in your life. Embrace the reason why God made you uniquely. Embrace the reasons why you have unique abilities. Embrace the reasons why you have what you have, and everybody and don't have every other thing everybody else is having, and live for that, because that is what you were created to do. That is what you were made to be. Embrace that. Purpose for life always, purpose for life daily, purpose for life every month, every week, every year, every tens of years, and at the end of your life, you're going to look back and say that indeed I live for what God created me to live for. And if I was given, if I were to live my life again, no much should change, because I gave my all. They say that the grave is the richest place, because that is where the potentials, the abilities, the gifts that were not utilized are. Don't be among those. When you die empty. When your life on earth is done, you die empty, because you were not created with things to go to live on earth and live with them, because whatever you were created with, whatever unique abilities that you have, they are for this earth. And it is like, let me just give this other example. It is like going to assume there is a dining table somewhere. They are surrounding, and then someone, the one who is cooking, assume your mother, because that is what is done in most homes. Like she has come with pots filled with things, with meat, with rice, with chapati, with mukimo, and every other, and nyama and kuku, and every other best dish that you know. Then she places them on the table and says that no one is supposed to eat. And then so the food, and because you are taught to obey your parents, to listen what they say, you are just smelling the food, the aroma that is coming from the meals, that is coming from the hot dishes. And maybe after some 30 minutes, assuming now take that minutes is a time gap that God has given you to live on earth, your mother comes again, takes all the pots and takes them back to the kitchen with the foods, with everything that they have. Mtabaki mkifanya nini? Mtabaki na njaa, mtabaki mmekasirika, mtabaki mkijiuliza kwa nini, mtabaki mkishangaa, what is happening with my mother? Why did she tell us not to eat the food? That is the same case. The thing is that I think it is the best. You need this to pass this message well. Yeah, it is just like that with purpose, the gift and talents and abilities. Like God has given those unique abilities and talents, so that we can come to earth and give them all, so that our pots, by the time our time on earth is up, like the empty dishes will be returning to the kitchen, like empty, like having given out everything, having given out the best of what we were, having given out our all, and what we are has made the world satisfied, just like this pot. Singe kutushibisha, just like this pot, the content in the pot would have kutushibisha. Yeah, so now go like having a life complete, finishing the course of life without giving the earth your purpose is like, it's like, it is just like coming, you are the pot, you are the pot when like from God's hands, from God's hands you are filled with the everything. You are the dish. You have many, I don't know what kind of dishes that you possess. The aroma is there, like everything is there, like intact in your inside. But when you come to earth, now it is a time to give them all. It is time to let the earth be filled with what you have. It is a moment for the people in your environment where God is going to place you to get impacted by what the things that you possess in your inside, the food, everything that you have in your inside, so that by the time you're dying, like you okay, you'll be empty. Okay, hutakuwa na uzito wa machakula, hutakuwa na uzito wa magifts, matalents, abilities, hutakuwa na uzito wa everything that God give you to come and be here on earth, you'll have even eat your all. And I think that is the best that could happen to you, and the best thing that could happen on earth, like the earth being able to experience your best, the earth being able to reap from the I am that you are, like the world being able to reap from who God created you to be. And I think hata God atafurahia. Nasema kama Paul, that I've run the race, I have finished the race. You have run the race with obedience, with resilience, with discipline, with giving your all. You have run the race doing what you are supposed to do. You have run the race like giving you all. You have run the race with inaitwaje, na kuna jina natafuta, like you have been faithful in what you were given by God. You have been a good steward while you are here on earth. It is not about food and everything else. Like, it is about unleashing the I am that you are into God's world that was waiting for you to come and be that one for you, and be that one, because that is what that was what the instruction of God was. And so I think the best thing is to, maybe as a person at this moment, now that you have had this one, is to avoid things. Oh, okay, it is to like, examine your life and see the things that God gave you, the talents and abilities that God has given you, and execute them, and like try not look at everyone else, whatever they are doing, and just look into a life and see what God created within you, and live that way, live towards that direction, like live to please God with what you have, live to glorify God with your talents, gifts, and abilities. And I am sure when you call upon the name of the Lord in whatever situation that you are going to find yourself in while on earth, God is going to hear you, and He's going to come and help you. Yes, that's all I wanted to share with you today. Have yourself a meditative evening, morning, afternoon, like whatever time it is in your place. Yes, and yes, give yourself to purpose. I'm not going to tell you to give yourself to maybe anything on earth. Just give yourself to the purpose of God in your life, and at that point, like, you're going to find the fulfillment that comes with living for what God created you to be, and you're going to have everything that you have ever desired in this life. Bye bye. Until next time, live for purpose.